Hey everyone, let's talk about Dune by Frank Herbert. First of all, I really liked the book. Second of all, I'm going to butcher all the names. I probably get things wrong and I'm not really sure what I think about the book in detail. So let's get this started, and if you're confused already, I am too. Because it's really difficult to summarize the story shortly, let's start with there are many planets, they are ruled by different great houses, there is an emperor who rules all the great houses, and he says to the Atreides family, leave your nice home planet and go to this desert planet, where the Harkonnens want to be, but he tells the Harkonnens to leave. That's the beginning of the story. The Atreides family moves house to the desert planet Arrakis, where there is nothing but sand and the Fremen, the sand people who live there, and a lot of spice, which is very valuable in this distant future. And that's a problem, because the Harkonnens want to stay on the planet so that they can earn a lot of money with the spice. And that's why they are planning to kill the Duke of Atreides and take the planet back. That's what's going on. The main character of the novel is Paul Atreides. He is 15 when his family moves to Arrakis and all the things start happening. That's all I'm going to tell you, because the story gets confusing and spoilery and there's a lot going on. The book is presented in 3 parts: Dune, Muad'Dib, and the Prophet. And I really like the first part. The writing is very impressive. You just keep turning the pages. You get introduced to the planet, to the characters, and I really like that. I really like to learn about Paul and his father and his mother and all the others. Thought that was very well written. It was very interesting. Each chapter starts with a quote from a book from a character we haven't met yet, and it's sort of talking about the history of the things that we're reading now. So there's a lot of foreshadowing going on. We get clues of what's going to happen and about characters. We know there is a traitor. We know who the traitor is. We know what's going to happen, sort of, but not in detail. So I really like the combination of the quotes, which are foreshadowing, and the telling of the story where everything develops slowly. The second part of the book, Muad'Dib, is where we see Paul evolve and taking on his role. That is his main role in the book. And we see him grow, we see him get stronger and everything. I thought this part is a little bit slow, but I still liked what's going on, and to learn about the desert people a lot more, the Fremen, and about their world, about the importance of water and their plan. The third part, the Prophet, felt a little bit rushed to me, and I couldn't really follow things anymore. I thought, like, hey, why don't you tell me more about this? Why not more about this? I want to hear more. And I really didn't like how Paul turned out and how his character developed, and some things that happened to the other characters, but there are so many characters, there's no way of talking about every one of them. But Paul, as our main character, had to undergo a lot of transitions and changes, and his life was influenced in a lot of ways that makes it understandable why he becomes who he is at the end, but that doesn't mean I really like him at the end of the book. Looking at the writing for a second again. In the beginning I said it was very slow and detailed, and at the end it was very rushed. I had the feeling that the writing was sort of reflecting the change in Paul, because in the beginning he didn't know a lot. He needed a lot of input to understand what was going on. But towards the end, he was not only in the now, he was everywhere at the same time, seeing everything, doing everything. And all that input kept just flowing faster than he could take it. And I thought this was reflected in the writing. Please let me know if you had that same idea or if I'm completely off. What I really liked about the book is the creativity, how detailed the worlds are described, the treachery, the intrigue, and all the things that are going on with the characters, and all the religious stuff that is set hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and all these things and how they reflect it from different characters. That was very, very interesting. Also the Fremen and their technology and how they deal with the desert and the heat and the sand and the sandworms. All these things were amazing, and I really loved diving into that world. I immediately felt at home in the writing and the scenery. As I said before, I really find it difficult to put it all into clear thoughts and into perfect sentences, because it's just too much and I can't really grab it, and I like that, but it's hard to talk about it then. Also, this book is the first in a series of 6, and I heard the last 3 are not so good. The ending of this book is not the ending of the story, but it's sort of an ending where I don't have to rush to read the next one, which I won't. But I definitely want to continue with the series at one point. I'm just not sure if I should read all of it, or is the story finished after 3 and you don't need the last 3 if they're not so good? If you read the book, just tell me in comments and tell me everything I misunderstood. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.